What's up, guys? Let's fucking go. I'm just gonna give a live market update from my perspective and what I'm watching, so you guys can kind of visualize how I've performed over the past day or two from some investments, which I wouldn't call them investments. I'll just call them trades, because that's what I do. I trade, and in my opinion, right now, it's a trading range more than a investing range, because there's a lot of uncertainty going on, and there could be some issues, I guess, coming when when Bitcoin or the stock market reaches a certain point and starts to correct a little bit more, and that's gonna, I guess, show us if there's strength or weakness in the market. And I get to see your comments as well. I might move the comments to another screen like this. Wait for some people to join. We got a few people. Okay. You got 6 people. That's good enough. I'm just doing this for my own benefit. So I'm gonna clear this chart. Let's go over some of the things which I've been in and looking at, and what I've been doing. So what you guys see here is something called Polkadot. Polkadot is pretty much a platform similar to Ethereum, which projects are built off, and a lot of DeFi, which is decentralized finance, is being built off Polkadot. So projects like Mantra DAO, fucking a lot of the projects nowadays are very scammy, and if you want to make money, you kind of focus on people's greed, right? And you capitalize on that. So yes, some of the projects are scammy. I'm not encouraging investing in any of them, but you can trade them, most definitely. Don't you worry about Bitcoin being classified as a criminal currency? Like I said, this is technically not investing. This is technically trading mid macro range with stop losses, and securing your profits along the way, right? You can short the market if you want. I personally, at the moment, refrain from shorting something that's super bullish. So yeah, let's walk through what I saw here, right? So the other day I was looking at this. If you guys see these hats here, they're called divs, or divergences, and what they represent is potential change in momentum of the chart. But you can do that by your own visualization, but sometimes you miss it, so I have the indicator up. You can look it up. It's called MDiv on your indicators on TradingView, but I'm going to turn it off for now. And why they printed a div there, and why I paid attention to it. If you guys were in on my live stream yesterday, I spoke about divs, and it's not necessary that they always provide a direction change in the price, because it can bounce up and still go down. But what makes this something that I want to start putting money in, right? Or potentially profit from. So I've indicated here that there's a price is moving down, and produces an oversold bullish div or bullish divergence, and the price bumps up and it makes a higher low, right? And why I'm looking at Polkadot is because it's an incredibly bullish trend. I know that this is only partial of a chart. The token itself, I believe, they changed the value of it from like a few $100s, and they reduced the value and increased the supply. If that was, I believe that's how they did it. So then there's a lower number associated with it, but it's one of the highest capped coins. To me it doesn't matter because it's been doing pretty big movements. For me, to answer Hosak's question, for me to understand the market and the mechanics of it, the best source would be. There's so many. Like, first you'd need to understand the fundamentals of what it is, what people think about it, what people are thinking about it now, and also you need to be involved within like the crypto Twitter community, the projects that you need to be involved with the telegrams. No, I don't do ETFs. And yeah, the reason why I trade cryptocurrency is because it moves the most. If you guys don't know, I've been in this market. Well, obviously you guys probably have seen me put a chart or two up on Instagram, but I've been in this market since 2016, and it's been a wild ride. And I never share any of my kind of knowledge on it, but here I am, right? So why did I invest in something like Polkadot? Well, I didn't invest. Why would I decide to trade this? So I saw the div, saw a higher low. It doesn't mean that this can't keep going down like this. Like, it can definitely do this, right? But what do I want to watch? So I see the new high. I've got my fib tool here. And there's something called the golden pocket, or it's the 0618 Fibonacci. So I use a gold square here to indicate a support zone, and a potential sizing in. So you start nibbling at the price, right? So I started adding some positions here. Stop loss below this blue line, because this blue line I'm seeing as a support line. Once it starts settling down. So I'm using this initial point. I know that it's not a very clear point, but as soon as the reset for Polkadot happened, that's where the price started, and it's appearing to hold that line. So using that stop loss beneath that, pretty wide stop loss depending on what type of size you're using, but adding in position here, watching this price go down here. I might not even add here. I'll see it react, and then I can think about adding as it rises towards this top level here, right? So let's see it play out. So that's a nice bounce there. So how I would set this up is I would put a line here, green as in my entry, and a red as in my stop loss, right? Below that blue line. And let's let it play out. It played along with that blue line, which is good. That's what we wanted. And how do we range this? Like, what type of, why would I put my stop loss there, and what type of price action am I expecting here? So as you saw before, I used a GP. It works the same in reverse as a rebound zone and a critical area that the price may be reacting to. Yeah. So this is what I put next. I put an orange box where in reverse it's a 0618 as well. So as you can see at the side here, during a fall in price, there's usually people entering during the fall, and what we call this area here, the little area that, so we'll draw it out here. You'll see this on every single major drop, right? It will go like this, and then there's a wobble here. And what this area is called is a supply zone, right? So market psychology works like this. I understand that there is a rebound zone here, but there has to be a confirmation or like a verification of that rebound zone as well. So if you see here, that's called the supply zone, right? So the people who enter here, a lot of them get stuck as the price capitulates, right? As the price goes down. So naturally, when the price comes back up to these levels, the people who are stuck here are trying to exit. They're going to try to break even, and the buyers, if they can build enough momentum to overcome this zone here, can send the price higher, right? So that's kind of the idea. So if you enter here and you watch this zone here, watch it play out, it goes up nicely. And also, rewinding 1 second back, I'm drawing this from scratch again for you guys. As you can see, there's moves here. High, low, high, and lows. What I would be doing, using this high and this approximate low here, that wick, I wouldn't even count it as a low, I would average it around the middle. So I'll do this, and do this, right? And these three lines in each section here, they're zones, right? I'm just going to give you a rundown on Polkadot first, and then I'm going to move over to Bitcoin because everyone's interested in Bitcoin. But this is how I played this area. If you notice, I'm not going to use this blue line here. I'm going to use these middle lines. So the middle lines in here as a key area of interest and how the price may react to the area, and I might use that as support, right? Support or resistance. So I've entered here a stop loss around 3 to 4%, 3%, and potential gain of up to 30 to 40%, right? That type of return, you can use leverage if you want, but I personally am staying away from leverage at the moment. I prefer not to use leverage. It's a lot of stress. I've used leverage. I traded a lot before, and it's 24/7 monitoring for me. Like, it's just fucking too heavy. I like spot trading a lot better, so I can kind of control the position a lot more. Unless I'm sizing very small, but as you can see, the fucking risk reward here is fucking substantial, right? It's a 9.3 risk reward ratio, and you're risking a small loss over a huge gain, and already from this move, already up 12%, right? I've got a big size within this trade. I'm going to have a look at these people commenting so I can answer. Do you make full-time living off trading? I make a good amount off trading. But yeah, there's a big learning curve. Are you worried about the market being saturated with a bunch of cryptocurrencies? If you were around in 2017, it was a lot worse than it is now. At the moment, it's not too bad, to be honest. 2017 was a fucking shit fest. At the moment, there's stuff like sushi, which is actually sushi is a pretty good project. It's a decentralized exchange, sushi swap, and it's competing against Uniswap, which is moving a lot more volume than Binance at the moment, which is pretty surprising. And SushiSwap was an exit scam by the creator Nomi. I'm very aware of that. But there's like hot dog coin, there's fucking all these foods, and it's fucking retarded. Is there a mechanism restriction on algorithms available to limit the number of currencies available? No. So with exchanges like Uniswap and SushiSwap, you can list these coins on an unregulated, decentralized exchange, and it's pretty much like free reign for scammers and all that type of shit. But you need to do your own research and know the team. If you allow yourself to be overexposed, as in too invested into something that you don't understand, without knowing how to trade it, without having your stops, etc., then you shouldn't be in the market to begin with. But there's always going to be greed and stupid people who don't practice good trading, and that's the same with myself or anybody else who's ever traded before. Like everyone makes mistakes, and better off make mistakes when you're small than when you're fucking huge. Okay, so I've drawn my boxes, right? I've drawn my boxes. What happens next? So, as you can see, we're capturing this this first fib box here. I like to watch the 4 hour candles and see how it reacts. Almost a perfect bounce off the top of the box, and a pretty bullish candle coming through. Very long. It's not green because I changed colors to. I like changing the colors to very neutral colors to remove bias and emotion. When you have candles in this color, you don't really feel when the market moves if you have a plan. So, as you can see here, the price comes in to the rebound zone, and there's there's a reversal doji that pretty much comes out of it, right? So this is a signal that the next candle which closes, which is the next 2.5 hours, it will be an indicator of what to expect. Is this price going to reverse even further? So what I would look for here is a potential reversal to this level, right? And because I'm in a long already here, and I feel like the price is bullish, I might add in this gold square, or I start taking profits here and letting the rest run, right? And also not to mention that there's a high low here. I would consider this a move high and a move low, and whatever happens here is an important area to have a look at. So you can see right here that the gold square or GP is here, and there's a bounce out of it. So you can use this for a lot of time frames to establish larger move swings and smaller move swings. So you can kind of indicate to yourself, oh, so if I start bouncing out of here, we can continue up to the top of this box. And say if I have a move here, right? If I was watching this with a fucking magnifying glass, I'd be watching this move high low, and it hits the top of this fib box here. And if it could break this fib box, this Fibonacci box, this is the 1618 Fibonacci box, and if it were to break this 1618 box, above is the 2618, which happens to be around the top of the rebound zone of this entire move, right? Of this entire major move. So this line is extremely significant because we need to break to the 2618 in order to continue the trend upwards. As you can see, we clearly reject perfectly off the top of this blue box, and we can see that there isn't really divergence occurring here. So this move could potentially bounce and go upwards, but there is divergence here and here. So the price goes like this, and the RSI is diverging. So it can bounce down here, and depending on how it reacts here, it might create a small divergence here, which sends the price up, and depending on how strong that is, it can go higher. But as you can see from our entry, and my retaining viewers, 23 viewers, that's a 28% gain within my entry in the last 4 days. So 28% gain in 4 days, right? and that was risking a 3% loss. So, alright, let's go. That was one of the coins I've been looking at. Another one, which was pretty funny, to be honest. It's called Wi-Fi. No, not Wi-Fi, sorry. It's another yield farming token called YF Value. How do I get around to learning all this? I've been in the market for fucking ages, like since 2016. So I've been learning a fuckload along the way. It's just been acquired over time. Yeah, like hopefully this can assist with you guys, and I'm gonna explain why I invested in the green line, on the green line, right? So this is a combination of fundamentals as well as technical analysis. So understanding that you need to know what's happening with the token, and I guess what to anticipate next, and the risks involved there, right? So clearly here, right, we see a huge divergence in momentum, right? Huge. And it continues on and on and on. And why put a green line there and invest there, or start the trade there, right? Why you would do that? And mind you, from this point, this was actually last night that it moved up 50%, right? A 50% move over the past 24 hours. And I put my my sell order within this box, and I re-entered with an amount here. Reason being is that there's a GP here, right? And I re-entered around this level here. Right? And we're challenging the rebound zone once again. But I like my re-entry here with a bigger bag and stop loss just below the GP, right? Okay, so why did I put my RZ there? La la la. I cannot remember. Oh, I think it must have been the fib extension. So I actually have two tools. I'm going to be going over the regular fib tool, but there's also a fib extension tool. I can't remember how I do this one, but this one is like this maybe. Can't remember. I think I drew it from here, and I just left it there. But this tool, as you can see, the boxes are associated similarly to these fib boxes, right? The difference between the fib extension, which is this, and the regular fib tool is that the fib extension takes into account the previous move in order to get you your zones, right? So let's put this into perspective. So with the fib regular fib tool, you got your high low here. You can use either from here, which gives you the top of this range here, or you can use it from here, which is pretty much the exact number here to that blue line. I wonder what the error was. Anyways, the fib extension, you're using the low, you're using the high, and you're using the low again, and it will give you a confirmation of which high and low is probably correct. But let's not overcomplicate it. I use the fib extension tool to get the RZ. And why I put a buy order here is because the price is going in a fucking huge downtrend, right? Huge downtrend. But there was news right here there was news around this time that the total supply of YF value tokens, or YFV. So these are yield farming tokens. So yield farming is a part of DeFi in cryptocurrency, and it's a hype cycle, and I bet most of these coins are going to fucking zero. But for the time being, they're extremely profitable tokens to be trading. They reduced their circulating supply from my understanding 27 million circulating supply to 3.8 million. So they've essentially chopped down their circulating supply by a ninth. And why that is extremely bullish to me is because the hype behind yield farming, the extreme bullish divergence, and putting this order above support, just not I wouldn't say a huge one, couple of thousand, in order to catch this wave up potentially from that news. So that I'd call that extremely bullish news, because they're trying to increase the value of the token. And yeah, that was my train of thought. Thoughts on IOTA? I haven't thought about IOTA in a long time, to be honest. I'm talking about I was just talking about, what do you call it? DOT, and talking about YFE. I'm not saying anybody should invest in these right now. Extremely volatile cryptocurrencies, in my opinion. Or DOT or Polkadot isn't as volatile. It's pretty volatile, but I would be very fucking cautious putting any money in something like YFV, because it has reduced in value by fucking how much percent? Like 80% within the past 7 days, when Bitcoin did a pullback. So I've managed to secure like 40 plus 10% profit from it. So that's good. But let's look at Bitcoin. Everybody wants to look at Bitcoin and understand what the fuck's going on with Bitcoin. I think SXP was... I remember when SXP was announced on... It was listed on FTX, and immediately I bought fucking... This was when when it was listed on FTX, bought some bull tokens, which are leverage tokens. It wasn't leverage trading, I guess, but I just bought leverage tokens because I was like, this is huge. They're just gonna fucking move real hard. And I sold pretty early, but made a few 100% off that. I think Swipe is a bit whatever. I think it's overhyped. Did you hear about Wirecard fraud? Nah, I don't know what Wirecard is, but I know what Swipe is. Okay, let's have a look at where Bitcoin will probably fucking go. Right? What I really like doing is redrawing charts, because it kind of consolidates, the method. And as you can see here, what did I say? What was I talking about before? Supply zones, right? I'm going to draw them in red boxes. Supply zones. So people have entered here. People have entered here who are probably trapped in their trade. Obviously, you can see the rebound here. People who entered here, sold their positions and then created momentum to the downside. And there's actually divergence here. Let's chart this area so you guys can see it. Take one step back. One step back. One step back. Just give me a sec. Oh. What was my strategy? What was my strategy here? How did I play this area? if my friends are watching, they know exactly what I did. So I had positions when we were in this top area, and you guys always hear me go on and fucking on about divergence. I'm gonna use this 12-hour chart. Top. There's divergence clearly at these local tops, right? And what was I looking for to exit my positions, right? I was looking for another high that's lower than this to confirm that this divergence is a reversal, right? I've spoken about this multiple times, so I'm pretty sure when the price dropped to around here, I wasn't trading Bitcoin, I had alts. When the price dropped to around here, below this high, I had an alert up here and I started selling my positions, and the price continued to capitulate lower and lower. And let's draw where was the price going to land, right? And where what was the play? And the play generally most of the time is patience and understanding that, oh fuck, like no one knows where the price is going to go. You look for confirmation of where the direction is going to go, right? So we can draw a top here. These are small macro moves. Well, not macro. This whole range is an upwards bullish macro move, but we're going to use this high here and this low here and this high here, right? What do you guys see? So why did I use those highs for this fib extension? So the price momentum is going up, goes down, goes up, goes down. So technically this is the local high and this is the local low of this move. I'm not going to use these highs because it doesn't make sense, because this move is part of this move on the wave up. So this high here, this low here, this high here, and guess where the fucking price lands, right? Amazing. I'm going to use a white box because it's a target down. And the next box, if it were to break and close below, would be around here, right? So it's pretty spot on. All right, so I guess the question is what influenced me to start sizing into alt positions, and because if you have a look at this, right? If you zoom out and have a look at this, the price just fucking dumped a fuckload, and everyone's bearish. But understand that there's a major trend at play, and it has to be broken before you can completely flip your bias. So if you have a look here, there's a channel similar to what occurred in 2017. I'll show it to you guys after, but there's a channel right here, and there's a major support right here, tip to base to tip here, which aligns with this fib box that tells us that there's potential support here. I'm not going to enter any positions here yet, right? I'm not going to enter any positions yet. I'm going to wait for confirmation before I start entering, because that's just my style. I don't want to just completely gamble like, oh fuck, it's dumped to there, I'm going to start sizing. And yeah, you can do that, but I'm going to look for the same thing that I always look for, right? And I usually check on multiple time frames if these occur. I use the line charts for divergence. This could be seen on 5, 4 hours is usually the most important, but 7 was easy to show. I'll use 5 right for now, right? So divergence, You could have shorted up here, but like I said, I'm not leverage trading at the moment. I'm just spot trading the bull trend. So as you guys can clearly see, a higher low was established, and from here, because we have a bullish divergence, consider sizing in to those alt positions, right? Because when Bitcoin moves sideways, we can understand that the people want to make money, and those Bitcoins are distributed back to the market. And another good chart to be looking at is the Bitcoin dominance chart. So as the Bitcoin dominance starts to drop, that's when alts start to move, because money is flowing out of Bitcoin and into the alternative cryptocurrencies. But anyways, that's a fucking long-winded explanation of what the fuck I'm doing. But yeah, what are some of the good crypto Twitter pages to follow for news? That's a good question, man. I follow generally like the degenerates of crypto Twitter because they're funny. So, and I'd recommend some good pages, but they're just fearmonger, and I don't like the fearmonger type Twitter people. It's hard to choose. I reckon follow Crypto Gainsy. I can see the price dropping a little bit right here. Let's chart this. Crypto Gainsy is good. Il Capo is good. Who else is good? Fuck. Scott Melker. He's pretty good. But anyways, I need to get back to work soon. But what are we going to expect from this, right? I'm going to do a bit of a range find here as well. This lines up pretty well, this box here. I'm going to draw a blue box because there's a fib range upwards. This box aligns with, I'm going to draw it right on that line as well. This box aligns with the rebound zone drawn above, right? So we understand that people have tried to enter here and are probably stuck underwater. And when the price, which I think there's a high likelihood, will start moving towards this orange box, and you're going to see a lot of sell pressure sending the price back down. And where that lands, I'm just going to take a fucking wild guess if we get back up to here. I like making guesses because I tell you what, I might show you guys a chart that I drew the other day. Pretty much saying that the price is going to go whoop, and then like this. I think that the price obviously might not go in a straight line, and time is relative. It could be extended over all this bullshit, but up, down, test, or break down, right? That's my perspective. Hey Kevin, the way you constructed your workouts, build yourself. I wouldn't say I'm a very angry trader, but the way that I approach trading is as mechanically as possible. Like, trust me, I've been in the same position that most people have in terms of when they start trading and you don't know what the fuck is going on and you do stupid shit. And I think when you set rules for yourself and stops, follow those rules and make sure that your risk management strategy. I think the most important thing for trading is risk management. When that is tuned in, right? So let's say you have the risk appetite's different for everybody. So you might have a trade which might do 100%, right? But the likelihood of that is, I don't know, 1 out of 9 trades that's going to happen, right? You have to make sure that you remain solvent for at least 8 of the trades, so that your 9th trade goes to plan and you make 100% profit on your stack. And you have to size accordingly to that, and adjust that as you trade along, and make sure that your trade risk management stays consistent throughout, or you'll end up losing money. So this is kind of my perspective at the moment for Bitcoin. We need to break this level first. What I see here, happening here right now, is that we've met this high here. We're testing it, bouncing with the 4 hour here. What can we expect? I'm gonna actually reduce the time here. So previously what we saw is from the move here to here, so this high to this high, there's a golden pocket here. Oh. From this high to this low, there's a golden pocket here, and we're pretty much staircasing all the way up, right? This is pretty bullish. Doesn't even touch down here. And guess what? Like, the price is moving pretty fluidly. Higher, high, higher, high. Without the bearish divergence. And if I'll bet you that this is a golden pocket right here. Right? That's a golden pocket right there. And we're bouncing out of it pretty nicely as well. Got 8 minutes to close the candle, and I'm going to make a wild guess that when this candle closes, we're going to see a push up. On the 30 minute, it's not a significant bearish divergence here. What we want to see is the price go higher. As soon as the price goes higher than this, then this divergence here becomes invalid. And then we want to look in the higher time frame, and I'm going to assume that if the price pushes a bit higher here and doesn't have a lot of momentum high here and creates a bear div, and the price can retrace potentially to this level here. Assuming what I would expect, something like this, right? If I could tell the future, my expectation here is this. Probably a last push up, last leg up. Potentially a retrace to here. Or, what would make a lot more sense, is a retrace to test the top of this fib and bounce off and continue the wave up to the rebound zone. Oop. But I'm not trading Bitcoin. What I want to understand from this trend is the trend going to continue up? When should I start selling my positions? Because when Bitcoin starts moving down, that's when alts are going to suffer. And I'm mostly in alts. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm actually considering doing a more of a trading channel, an investment channel, because I'm just testing the waters here. Any alts to look into? Well, let's chart something that I was in a long time ago, called Ren, and this was prior to the Well, you can see my fucking charting here. It's fucking crazy. As you can see, you can if you've been following along, you can see where my potential entries were, or where my entries were, and what I was looking out for: wedges, pennants, and targets as the price moves along, right? Let's delete all that. And I've only shown everybody this. I've only shown you guys the method that I've been using against US dollars, right? Or Tether. And I want to show you on a long-term basis, short-term basis, and across different types of assets or commodities or equities, whatever you're charting, Fibonacci levels are occurring, right? And let's take Ren for example, right? I got into Ren back here in April 2019 and traded up, down, and re-entered large here, right? Around that level, right? What were the expectations of this movement? There's a correction happening right now, but what were the expectations? Mind blown incoming for some of you, I reckon, because probably none of you have seen this type of charting before. I haven't, but yeah, I can almost guarantee that most of you have not seen this type of charting before. So these are the expectations of the movement, and if you watch the crypto markets, right, it's hard to establish where to take your profits because you're blind, right? So let's say you're here, you enter down here, you're a noob, you don't know where the fucking price is gonna go. You're like, oh fuck, where the fuck am I gonna take profits? When you're using fibs properly, you can see where your risk increases. And I'm saying that as the risk increases, right? For this, the previous move of the entire of your cryptocurrency or whatever you're invested in creates a range or a momentum at which the price is likely to reach and where you should be taking your profits, right? So you guys saw that I took the major move high-low, right? Yeah? We've established that that's the major move here. And from a long-term time frame, what can we expect? We can see that there's a fucking huge... This is not a complete bull div or bullish divergence, but the momentum's clearly to the upside. The lows are remaining relatively to the same level, and the momentum is going up, right? There's higher lows on Ren here. And what's Ren? Ren's actually a project made by people from Sydney, and it's a DeFi project. And when I heard about DeFi back in around my birthday, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I was like, this shit hadn't even come into crypto yet. This is what Ren looked like when I saw it for the first time, right? No one knows what's going to happen next. But as the price starts progressing, that's when you kind of can understand that, oh, this is fucking serious, and understand the fundamentals of what's going on. No one knew what this was. And why I started to size into Ren was I saw that the price was starting to pump. Oh, sorry. too far. Pumped here and it was going low here. When it reached oversold levels, I started sizing in here when I was like, oh fuck, this looks like this is a good project that has a good future. So then I sized in there, right? And the rest is history. Let's move to Let's see what happened next, right? How many people got? 25. All right, sweet. So if you were trading this range of Ren BTC, I guess this is like a tutorial for everybody. Everyone has fibs. I have my fibs set up a certain way. I'm just going to let you guys see, and I'm going to chart things in the future for you guys to kind of trade. So let's see. If we were to buy the bottom of this is the rebound zone. Same concept. Same concept here. Good place to take profit. And you can consider sizing in after that. But Ren's a very long-term type investment, because as the DeFi hype started to progress, you could see there's a strong macro uptrend that was starting, right? And we got our fib targets drawn previously from this major move here, and you can see the price starting to start to push up to those fibs. So you start to watch. And we start to see the price reacting to these fib levels, right? Amazing. And you can actually start sizing into these levels with these high lows here, because there's GPs that are created, yeah? There's GPs created everywhere, which allows people a moment to start sizing in positions, and getting with the trend if you weren't in early yet, right? And there's obviously a match in, I guess, this. Remember, like, no one's seeing into the future here, but we can kind of establish what levels that this move could make. So it would react to here. If it breaks here, it will go up to here. Remember, there's a fib level here. You might take profits. You might draw another fib if you're actively trading. Re-enter at the golden pocket here. Take major profits at the top of this fib level, because remember that it's the first major fib resistance level of this major move that occurred almost a year ago. So I would definitely be taking profits there and consider a pullback, and where will we be re-entering. So yeah, hopefully that's kind of like informative. Use the fibs. 1618, 2618, 3618 are these levels, and 1618, 2618, and etc. And you can see that when the price started to move, I probably should stop swearing in my videos. It probably demonetizes them. But you can see that the price pretty much exactly taps this box and tries to re-enter the box. Tries to re-enter the box. I would be watching the daily candles. When we start rejecting the top of the box, stop losses could be put below this candle here. So as it closes here, it might still go up. Stop loss below this candle here. Price trends down. And remember, at the same time, you would be watching Bitcoin. I showed you where I anticipated the drop for Bitcoin. It correlates to where this drop is occurring here. So just that as an example. When did I make my first investment in Ren? My first investment in Ren was around April 2019. It dropped down, it went up. I actually traded this range here, 200. I think people aren't realizing how big these fucking moves are to begin with. Let's so my first investment was around April 20th. I sold around here. That's like 100. I know this whole entire move did 200 something %. 100% there. There's a GP around there. Another 118%. And I didn't sell exact top. Probably around there. And the price started to break down. Re-entered around, that's a GP as well. Rebound zone. Take profit. Rebound zone, take profit. Breakdown. Breakdown of this level. Established lower high, meaning that the price is likely to break down further. And also to mention, how do we know how low this price can go? I've spoken to you guys about 216 being an extremely important level to maintain in order to keep direction, right? So if it breaks 216, or 2618, or 1618, 2618. So this second fib box here is extremely important to maintain. If it breaks further, that means it can trend further, but usually a reversal can occur here, right? So why am I using this high and this low here to establish where the price can go, right? Similarly to the way I just inverted the chart, by the way, right? So remember how I was ranging the way upwards? So for this move, what would I do for this range upwards? I would use this low and this high here, right? It goes up, it doesn't reach there. As soon as this red candle occurs, you can start putting stop losses within or below the box, right? But that's how you generally range: top, high, high, and low after the local low, or in this circumstance, the local high here, right? So let's do it in reverse now, right? Got 19 people still watching. Amazing. You guys, how long has this video been going for? Shit. It's been going for 1 hour. I need to stop. Free alpha. So remember, when I'm ranging downwards, I'm using white boxes, right? Is that box drawn properly? Nope. Make sure it's accurate. Accurate. Oh my goodness. So generally, bounce, bounce. There's actually a bounce within this box. Like I said, you want confirmation before the price starts moving again, right? You wouldn't be buying in this box until higher lows are being established to send the price higher. Breaks down to this bottom box. Higher low. That would be a good time to start sizing in above this box. And you could be making a close to 100% BTC on this trade, right? So like I said, you can use the extension tool as well as the extension tool as well as the regular fib tool, right? So if I were to invest here, I would be watching this box, probably take profit around the box area, see what the fib extension tool says. Right. So we could look at where these boxes cross over and where the top of the range is and make our decisions from there and use the lines as potential stop loss areas, right? But it literally gives you exactly where the price may land. That's just how I'm seeing it. But anyways, how old was I? Fuck, I don't know. It was like 2016 or 2015. 2016? A long time ago. Wow. This was a really long-winded video. But that's pretty much how I would go about trading this range. Yeah. That's all she wrote, I think. Thank you guys for tuning in. Big move. Bouncy. Bouncy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And guess what, man? Guess what? Ren did come back to these levels. You could use that GP here from this high and this high and this low, or even bring it back here if we're considering the entire move, and it bounces within the GP. I am done. Hopefully that was helpful. See you guys later. Peace.